Hey guys, what's cracking? Yeah. Hey Sharona, good to see you. Awesome stuff, huh? Good stuff. Hey guys, hey Linda. I'm going to stop that right there, okay? Listen, I got a lot of criticism on my last video, my last upload, and I have to say that it was legit. Okay? I'm not going to sit here and try to deny I wasn't squirreling, because I absolutely was. I was all over the place sometime, not really all over the place, but I was doing a whole lot of shout outs and stuff like that. I hear you, okay? So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start a little bit different of a format here. I'm going to do all the space weather at the beginning. I'm just going to jump into it, and we're going to keep moving, and hopefully that'll allow for people to get the information. If I have to stop for a second and answer a question, that's one thing. But I'm not going to be doing all the shout outs right at the beginning and all that kind of stuff anymore. I get it. I actually agree with you guys. Okay? I just find it hard sometimes to not shout out people I care about and shout out people that I respect and want to help out. It's just hard. It's hard to do that. But I also realize that I'm at a size now, and a lot of people, I know so many people now here on YouTube, that I can't continue to do it the way that I was doing it and make it make it enjoyable for anybody. So I do apologize for that. I did recognize it was a problem, but it took you guys to keep telling me. And I asked you guys to tell me, and you did it in a respectful way. So thank you for that. I do accept the criticism, and I'm going to try to change a little bit here. Okay? So don't get me wrong. After I get done with the space weather stuff, if you guys want to talk about some other stuff, we can. At the end of the stream is when if I'm going to shout out somebody, that's where that will be. I might shout out somebody right at the beginning every once in a while, but it's not going to be long and drawn out. So let's get into it. Guys, obviously, yeah, listen. Hey, we got hit with a very, very high dense smack that nobody was expecting. I don't know where it came from. My guess is it's probably a CIR. It's one of those rotating areas. Basically what it is it's in between two solar wind streams, and the particles in between there become really, really dense. And when that crosses over our magnetic connection to the sun, basically it hits our magnetic field. When that happens, it'll jolt us really, really hard. But what's interesting is the level of the density of what we just got hit with. But I'm thinking today is what, the 26th, right? So if we go back to the 23rd and we start looking at things, I believe we had an eruption that nobody really was talking about. Yeah, and it's not the intergalactic sheet though. The intergalactic sheet, yeah, that would be you're talking when that thing crosses us or influences the sun. We're talking huge. I'm talking huge stuff. These CIRs happen all the time. Okay? And look, check it out. Just now went into geomagnetic storm level. I thought this was going to happen. Nobody was forecasting this. Okay? Nobody. And I doubt if anybody's even on here talking about it right now. I'll probably even change the title of my video because of that. As a matter of fact, guys, hang in there for 1 second, because guess what? I'm going to do it while I'm live. Y'all want to do that with me real quick? Earth hit with unexpected geomagnetic storm. High dense particles hit Earth. Just like that. How about that? We're going to leave it right at that. We just changed the title real quick, and yeah, there you go. And there it is, and there we are. So, let's just keep moving. I would like you guys to share the stream out if you could. And what I mean by what we just went into geomagnetic storm level, look, latest observed is right here. That's G1. I'm thinking, guys, I really do think that we are being hit by probably some sort of a CME that we didn't see. And what I'm going to do is, because I just got off a stream over on the lifeboat, go check that out, by the way. But I was going to go live here and show you guys the dart, right? So let me click this. This is over at spaceweather.com, and this is over at NASA. Now, that most people have already seen this, okay? Most people, I was going to go live and just go live with you guys. We were going to watch it together, okay? But if we go here, and you look at NASA's live stream here, it's probably not even live anymore. It could be, I guess. But here's the video of it hitting, okay? This is on their Twitter feed, so it's all public, so you guys can look at it. It's not like there's any kind of copyright issues or anything like that. But with this being a replay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this to the end here. Hold on. Sorry about that. But see, it's giving you a time lapse, and this is showing you it coming in. This thing hit the bullseye. I mean, it's impressive. That's all I got to say. And then you're going to see it go boom, and then you're not going to get any more captures. That's the last. There's impact, because when it impacts, the camera's dead, guys. I mean, obviously the satellite's gone. It got blew up. And that was their intent. They wanted to try to hit this thing to see if it would knock it off its trajectory, to see if we can, you know, in the future do that, right? Are we going to be able to do that in the future? I have no clue. Okay. Are we going to be? Is it going to be something that we can look at if we got something coming our way? Yes, I think this is a step in the right direction. This is something we probably should have done a while ago, but now they're doing it, and it is just what it is. Yeah, we're at a G5 now for sure. Yeah, that's why I actually just changed the title. Hopefully, I almost want to send out the notifications again. But anyway, if you guys could just share it again, if you would, I would really appreciate it. So anyway, G1 storm, that was DART. That was the satellite coming in. There you go. There you have it. Yeah, that's actually a very that's actually a pretty decent concern, Anna. She says, what if they knock something off course and then it knocks something towards us? Well, guys, let me say this. Space is huge. Okay? So if their trajectory is, if their goal is, if they know it's going to hit us, if they know, if all they got to do is just barely bump it, if they get to it soon enough, the chances of it actually, you know, hitting something else and causing a chain reaction to have something else actually come at us is really, 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 really so astronomically small. It's crazy. Because even, you know, if you think about it, you know, we don't get hit with these things very often anyway. So it would be really hard for that to actually take place. But it's a legitimate concern. Okay, that's a question that a lot of us had. So thank you for saying that. But in my opinion, space is so huge that if we move something just a little bit, is it going to actually hit something else, or maybe even take that one and like push it closer? You know, those are all questions that we all have. But I don't think that's what would happen, because we're talking about something a really, really, really minute hit. Yeah, no kidding. It's just so big, and for them to actually be able to hit this thing is wow. That's all I can say. But that's okay. I know, honest, I had the same question, and I really did. Hey JJ, good to see you. But it's a on point question, and it's, you know, to the subject we're talking about. So I mean, it definitely is that. So, but to go ahead and move on to try to figure out what the heck is giving us, what the heck is going on with this unexpected geomagnetic storm, I can tell you right now, we're gonna see some aurora here. Okay, this density that we're seeing is it is something that I haven't seen density this high in quite some time. So let me bring this Discover data up. I meant to have that already ready for you guys. Sorry about that. But as we look at this, okay, so this is the Discover data, and we're looking at, you know, the regular solar wind stuff, the space weather stuff that we see. Now, look at the speed here. You see the speed in purple? It didn't even, I mean, we're barely at the low end of normal, okay? Anything over 500 kilometers a second would be considered fast, right? But if you look at density, and I've told you guys this before, that 4 is the number that we look at to be like considered normal density. We were already hanging a little high, which isn't no big deal at all. I've seen us get into 20, 30 density and not even take a hit. I mean, it hits us, but it doesn't do anything, right? But there's a couple things I want to point out here that happened. So if we come here and all of a sudden, boom, things start rising and rising fairly quickly. So we're looking at a density of, at current, 84. That's dense, guys, okay? It's not like unheard of, but that is high. And I mean high. Now, when we get hit with bigger CMEs and stuff like that, we'll see these kinds of readings, right? But this is something nobody was talking about. If I was to show you the forecast from yesterday over here at NOAA, and it's even incorrect right now because they changed it. It didn't say these 4s yesterday. It was showing you 2s and 3s. And then even before this, when we started getting this, it was like 1 and 2. And so what I'm saying is this nobody's seen this coming, is what I'm trying to say. All right. Now I did mention we had an uptick of a greater chance of having flares, but that has nothing to do with this. Okay? That's flares. That's X-ray, not dense particles, not plasma. We're getting hit with high dense plasma as I'm talking to you right now. Okay? And this happened, this started happening a couple hours ago. So if we go over here to the magnetopause models, sun's off to the left, stuff moving from left to right here, right? So what are you seeing? Well, this is the speed. So we'll look at the velocity, which is kilometers per second. And you're not going to see a whole lot of speed here, guys, like I said. And this happens sometimes, okay? When you get higher dense particles, they don't move as fast. It's simple as that. And when you got lower dense particles, things move faster. So when you got an uptick in speed and density, that's when we really take the really, really big hits. And that's not what's going on right now, because our speed really isn't that elevated. It's not elevated at all, actually. So as you can see here, nothing going on, right, on the speed. But check out the density here. This is doing nothing but showing you density. White is low density. The dark blue is the high density. I've shown you guys this model many times before, and most of the time you see kind of, I'm going to outline the area, kind of like right here. It's all white inside that, right? But check out what happens. Okay? Even inside our magnetopause, behind us, that far back, high dense particles. Now, let me show you the magnetic pressure. And I haven't looked at this yet, but I'm assuming that it's going to be pretty intense. And yes, I'm correct. Look at that. Okay? So let me push play on this. I haven't even looked at that yet. I knew it was going to be big, though. I knew it was going to be a lot of magnetic pressure. And see where it started there? So let me pause it, and I'll just grab the key here. I'll bring it back. Now, before this, it was probably even not as much. So watch what happens. Happens fairly quickly. You see it sneaking around almost from the back. It's not from the back. It's just getting sucked into our system. And it comes in easier on the poles. So that's the direction you guys are kind of seeing here. So it just starts to engulf our planet. Look at that. I mean, that's pretty intense. That's some pretty intense stuff. All right. So, I don't really have a whole lot more to add on the density part of it. But what I'll do is I'll let you guys see here. This is the Australian model. Shout out to all my peeps down under. Alan Ballantyne, if you're listening to this, man, I love you, brother. Yeah, I think Marfugo's live in 20 minutes. Go check him out, guys. Okay, so let me hit play here. Let's go back to the 26th. All right. Let's let it run. Watch this. This is our bow shock. Okay, if you watch the number here, density, watch it jump, and then watch our bow shock start moving. Hey, Ripper. Been trying to check on you, brother. Make sure you're okay, man. Hope you're good, bro. I know you're probably busy and doing things. I just get worried about you a little bit. Just wanted to hear from you. Now, you see when that density started to hit? Look at that. I mean, it was up in the 50s, and you see what it did to our bow shock. This is our satellite line, right? So, yeah. So, yeah. So as we go ahead and let's watch that again. Well, it'll show us what we got for today right there. Look at that, 84 on the proton density, right? Now, the BZ is important to know too. And, you know, that's really the reason why we're in geomagnetic storm level right now. So let me show you the BZ. That's the angle of our magnetic field. You know, and that really matters. I mean, it matters a lot, just so you understand that. That's cool, man. No, Rip, for real, man. I don't want you to think it's like that. No. I mean, you're all good, dude. I was checking on you, man. That's all. I just want to make sure you're okay. But you see our density here, it's still rising. So we're taking another little bit of a bump hit. And what are you seeing here on the BZ? -6, right? But look what's happened here. We didn't go into storm level until our BZ went positive. You see that? Ain't that kind of nuts? If you know what I'm saying. Thank you, Tiff. Well, I appreciate you. So, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it really blows my mind. It really does. Hey, Ilya. Now, yeah. I mean, you would think we've been in storm level back here. We weren't. We didn't get into storm level till we were up here. We just now got into storm level. So, yeah, that right there will tell you that this is a pretty decent hit, because if we're not in that negative orientation with our magnetic field pointing towards the south, it's a lot harder for the stuff to get through. Now, with these high dense hits like this, something else that happened here, guys, is the phi angle changed. It flipped. What's the phi angle? Well, it's the polarity of the solar wind itself. We're connected to the sun with interplanetary magnetic field lines. All the plasma that travels from the sun like that, it flows in. It flows through to us on that magnetic connection line. The higher dense ones will hang closer to the middle of that connection line. So it's a more compacted hit. Things that are moving faster kind of do one of these numbers, right? So it's a more broad hit. But when you see the density go up, we just went into magnetic storm level, and the BZ isn't tilted towards the south. The reason why this is getting in, I think, in my opinion, is that it made such a drastic change, a drastic shot back north. Okay? That's a pretty quick shot right back up to the north. So you're looking at a +7. Okay, you went from -10 to +7. That's a 17-degree shift. All right? So if that kind of thing is happening, is being shifted like that, and we're getting hit like this, it can open up cracks in our magnetic field. It could just, a lot of things can happen, is what I'm trying to say. So, and the temperature rose here too, so things are actually, kind of heating up. Now, how much will this affect us? I don't have a good answer for you guys, okay? With this being unexpected like this, all I can tell you is that 84 is high on density. Okay, look here. Look how far north we are now. Look, 18, 19. I mean, that is pointing, that's up. That's pointing pretty good, guys. To the north. We should be like knocking this stuff away. So my guess is it's probably a CIR, right? Again, it's a co-rotating area, and I'll show you the Enlil spiral, because it'll help me explain it to you. So again, here is the Enlil spiral, and there was a CME that fired off here today, and it went this way, so it's not coming at us. I'm not even going to talk about that CME because it's not going to affect us. But if you can kind of picture the area in between these two green areas, how it's spiraling through, if you can kind of just say, hey, in between there, we had a higher dense area, and as that rotated through, it hit our magnetic field. That's essentially what I'm trying to show you, okay? I really don't have any other way to show it to you or explain it to you because there's no models of that. But you can definitely see that, you know, when you get a higher, 2 solar wind streams and then you get that coming through there like that, this sometimes happens. Now, I'm not totally sold that it is one of those areas, okay? We have to consider other things like a stealth CME. Because, in my opinion, that's kind of what this feels like. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go back. We're going to go over here to SDO. Okay? And I want you guys, I'm doing it this way so you guys see what I'm doing. If you go to SDO, and I'll put this link in the chat. Okay? Anybody can do this. You go over here yourself. So here's the link. Right there. All you got to do is put a date. Put a date in here. This is a satellite, guys, that looks at the sun. It sits out in front of the Earth, pretty close to us, actually. It's in geosynchronistic orbit, stays in the same area all the time. As a matter of fact, I'll just show it to you. I say this all the time, and I just need to show it to you. If you go over here to SDO and you go to Home, and you go, where is SDO right here? Click on that, and then scroll down. This is where the satellite's at. Okay? It does this figure 8 pattern all the time. Right here. It doesn't stray from that. So as the Earth's rotating around its axis, so is the satellite. But the eye of the satellite is always pivoting towards the sun. Always looking at the sun. It's called geosynchronistic orbit. That's how this satellite orbits, and that's how the thing operates. It's always here. Okay? So when I say that, that's what that means. So if we go back here, now you know the position of the satellite, we can go back here and look at it, right? So if we come here and we go back, let's say, you know, because today's 26th, let's go back on the 23rd and see if we can see anything happening about 3 days ago. Let's go, well, let's do I'm going to do the 94. Okay, those are angstroms of light, guys. Different ones show us different gases. I'm thinking that that's when this one here kind of... There you go. You see that? Hold on a minute here. Okay, so we do have stuff going on here on the 23rd. Watch this one over here. Even that right there kind of bubbled up on us a little bit. So maybe some of this and that right there too. You see that? Let me pause that. I bet you that's what's happening here. I talked about this if I remember right. Remember this thought that just kind of came up out of nowhere? As a matter of fact, I'm going to change the date on this thing. We're going to go back to the 22nd. Okay, another day. This might have been that one that yep, look at that, see? I'm telling you guys, that's probably where this stuff is coming from. I could be wrong. But there was some flaring going on that day. So let's take this back to here. And I'm even going to go back, well, no, because it's not there. Okay, so see how it kind of just pops up and then starts to flare? And we also had these other areas flaring. So, and some of these could have been giving us a glancing blow. We talked about this. So it's going to be hard for me to point out exactly where it came from. Okay? So what I can do, though, we can look at a different angstrom. And for me, it's just going to come down to an educated guess, guys. Because, frankly, it doesn't matter now. I mean, it's here. It's hitting. Something's hitting. Let's go to 211. That's the purple view. Let's see if we can see any disruption in the corona. And the only disruption I seen was right there in the middle. But that makes sense. Because right here in the middle, well, there was a CME it released off there too, but that was kind of later on. If it's here in the middle, it's hard to see it. Okay? The sun's the background, not the blackness of space. So That's what I would say. You know, so there's a good chance it came from that, just that little pop. And that might be why it is short-lived also, okay? Or, like I said, I'm giving you guys options here because I just simply don't know yet. It could be one of those co-rotating areas, right? That I was talking about with the buildup of the density, the CIRs. Okay? So, yeah. So recognize that, too. So there's some possibilities here about what's going on. Now, I will say this, that the density is already dropping back down. See? It went from 84 all the way back down to 63 already. So, looks like the speed's starting to calm down too. So, whatever has hit us is probably done. It's gonna fade off. Now, I am not gonna say 100% because obviously I don't know the future, but there's a good chance it will. Now, this is the geoelectric field model. This is geoelectric, not geomagnetic. But this thing will react when we get hit with geomagnetism. This is showing you space weather's effect on our artificial electrical components, right? So that's what you're seeing here, like our grid, right? You know, wires, transformers. They're trying, and this is actually a tool that they put out here because of they're trying to tie space weather to earthquakes, right? And how they affect each other and all that, or basically how space weather affects earthquakes, and if they can use it in forecasting. But you can definitely see here, right? We're getting hit with something here, and it definitely came out of the blue. And I don't know what else to say to you about it, guys. I did not know it was going to get into the storm level. It happened when I first went live, didn't it? Because I even changed my title. You guys go back and watch the stream. You'll see that I was like, hey, we got hit with high dense particles unexpectedly. I ended up, you know, and as I'm saying that, I looked over here and what happened? All these turned to G1, didn't they? So, yeah, I just don't even know. Now, let me do this for you too, because I know I get a lot of questions on this too. If we go over here to, let's go to the, this is the space weather scales, and what this is going to do is going to tell you what we can expect for storm levels, for each individual storm level here. Nothing's going to happen for us, right? The main thing you're going to see, you might see some increased aurora, maybe some minor satellite things might need moved around. You know, satellites with some little directional corrections, and because especially when you're adding high dense particles, the more dense the particles are, the more drag it has. So what that does is it forces them to have to do little adjustments on the satellites to keep them in the correct orbit. So higher dense hits typically will affect the satellites in that way more than what just a higher speed would. Okay, if that makes any sense to you guys. But if we get anything higher here, guys, I'll come back on and let you know, but I don't think we're going to. This really did just kind of come out of the blue. You know, and again, I think it may have been from a CME, a stealth CME, or it could have been from a CIR. So, yeah. And I tell you what we could do. Let's just do this. Let's CIR. Just give you guys a definition here, okay? That's all I'm trying to do. Okay, let's see here. CIR, space weather. Okay. Persistent coronal holes are long-lasting sources for high-speed solar wind streams. As the high-speed stream interacts with the relatively slower ambient solar wind, a compression region forms, known as a co-rotating interaction region. Okay, that's a bunch of word salad, right? Let me break that down for you just a little bit. You got ambient solar wind. The solar wind that's there all the time. And then you get a higher speed wind stream behind it. And it pushes particles up against the slower wind stream in front of it. and you have what's called the snowplow effect. So those dense particles start to roll up on themselves, and it becomes more and more dense. And then as that's all rotating, because they do, it all rotates. And let me show you. Where is it at? I know I had that model up. So when you get that rolled up high dense thing, it's rotating through, right? So when it rotates through like this model's showing you, and that denser region crosses us, that's when you get the hit. They're typically really short-lived, but they can put us into storm level, and that's what it looks like has happened, maybe. Or it could be a stealth CME, the one I just showed you guys over here on STO. We can go back here to let's go back here to the, I'll tell you what, let's check out the 304. This shows us ionized helium, and it'll show us like filaments pretty easy. The dark shadows would be filaments. So yeah, you're not seeing a whole lot here, guys. Nothing that would be coming at us. And again, this is from back on the 22nd. So let's change that again. Let's go back to the, let's look at one we haven't yet. Let's look at the 131. Yep, you see that little flare right there? I'm just wondering if that didn't pop off just enough. But we had a pretty big eruption over here too. You see that one? And up here too. Okay, that was on the 24th though. But that could have gotten here that fast. So it could be that. I mean, and again, I'm just showing you guys options. I can't give you a for sure because this is completely unexpected. Now what we can do, let's go over here to seeds. This is LASCO C2, another satellite that sits out in front of us about 1 million miles closer to the sun. And it's always looking at the sun. So let's take a look at the 22nd. And I showed you guys this one. And look at these, what looks to be halos all around. You seeing all those? So I'm telling you guys, I bet we got hit with some sort of stealth CME that we weren't really expecting to get hit with. I'm not saying for sure, but it's a possibility. All right, that's on the 22nd. You can kind of see the halo action happening when these things erupt. Now, this is an actual black disc on the camera. It blocks the main light of the sun, so we can get a reading at all. Now, you see this kind of strange. Watch this thing, right? I'll show it to you when it happens here. Right there. See that? That actually could be part of what's hitting us. But if you watch that same eruption, and let me pause it when it comes back through. Pause it right there. Okay, you see this hazy look, right? We know that north-south, that could hit us, right? The east-west is where we have an issue. And I do think that this has a good chance of being what's causing this. Because if you take and you know, these things spread out like shotgun bullets do. A shotgun pattern. It'll spread out as it gets further away from the sun. So even though it might not look like it could get to us from this direction, and also because of this, because it went this direction, off to the right a little bit, if I take you back over to here, things that fire off this direction, you guys notice all these interplanetary magnetic field lines? How are they shaped? This is the sun's connection to everything. They're shaped, they go out this way and they curve back. So if things are getting fired off this way, they can actually reach around and hit us. Okay? So I hope that helps people understand that part of it. But again, that could have been it. Now let's go to the 23rd. Let's look at the 23rd. What we have on here on 20. Let's see there. And again, I'm not sure if that went off the backside. I think it might have. But that's a decent sized eruption there, guys. Okay, that one, and then let's go over here to the 24th. And once again, you're getting more eruptions. I'm not going to waste your time with this, guys. It's just, I've shown you guys these already anyway. I'm not going to be able to pinpoint it for you, is what I'm trying to say. It's one of those things I just showed you. Okay? can you explain the G5 storm, where it came from, and is it the highest storm? No, it's not the highest storm, EB. I can explain that to you really quickly. Let me, where is the model one I pulled up? Here. Okay, and what I'll do for you, EB, I'm going to put this link in the chat for you. You guys can go to these things just like I can. If you go over to NOAA Space Weather Prediction Center and scroll all the way down to the bottom. Okay? And any page that you go over there, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you're going to get this. These are all the links. And you can go to the products and data. You can look at any model that I show you. They're all right here. Okay? So I would encourage everybody to go look. I really would. You might learn something from doing that yourself, and it helps to understand it better. But no, a G5 would be the more extreme storms, EB. Okay? And that's when we talk about grid down stuff. Okay? G1, we're probably going to see aurora increase, maybe some minor satellite corrections, those kinds of things. Nothing huge. But where did it come from? Well, like I just said, it's either a CIR, which is a buildup of dense plasma that rotates through and hits Earth's magnetic field, and it's from faster solar wind running into slower solar wind in front of it. And it's like a snowplow. It just kind of rolls over and becomes more dense. Also, it could have came from one of those CMEs I showed you guys. Other than that, I wouldn't think it would be anything else to really be causing that. But I can say that they did not forecast this whatsoever. Not at all. Not even just a little bit. As a matter of fact, the readings that they were showing us yesterday, oh my God, we're in a G2. Wow. What the heck is happening here? Okay. Y'all see that? Huh. I don't oftentimes get too quiet like that, but what in the world's going on here? Now, you know what I gotta do now? I gotta change my geomagnetic storm. G2 geomagnetic storm. How about that? Let's just add that in there. How about that? Wow. Okay. Whoa. Yeah. Okay. You're so confused? I ain't trying to be so confused. Okay, listen. I might have ran through that a little faster because I was trying to get through all the information. Let me slow it down for you. I apologize. I am so sorry. Yeah, the BZ, -10. Actually, I just looked at the BZ there a second ago. We'll look at it again here. Where do I have this? Right here. Okay, yeah. Okay, you're 100% correct. Check this out, guys. What did I show you guys earlier on this? We were here, right? And then we went from negative like 11 to positive like 18. And for it to jerk back down that fast again to a negative like 12, that is a big swing. Okay? So when I'm showing you guys the BZ, let me take you over here. And I want to spend some time showing you guys this because it's important to know. When you're looking at the magnetopause, this is basically our magnetic field, right? Now, this is a side cut. You got north and you got south, right? So when we're oriented in a southerly direction, in other words, you take this and you kind of point it this way, it's exposing our North Pole, basically. Both poles, really, I'm not going to get into that detail of it, but it's putting the magnetic field in an orientation that is more receptive to let stuff in. Okay? So when we go from a negative, see these numbers here? When we go from, because right now we're at a negative 12. It's actually pointing over here, right? So if we go from up here, a negative 17 to here, you see how big of a swing that is? I mean, you know? Yeah, IG. Yeah, no kidding. That was crazy. I had no idea this was going to happen, guys. When I got on here first, you guys were here at the beginning, I was just going to say, hey, we got some high dense particles hitting. We're not into storm level yet. I didn't think we were going to get there. Now we're at a G2. What? Yeah. So completely unexpected. And you guys seen it happen live right here. Well, and I was trying to show you guys what was going on to begin with. But yeah. So if you're making that big of a jump, you got to understand that when we're getting hit at the same time, yeah. That's up to, it's up to whatever you want to believe there, Drive. I am not going to tell anybody how to believe on those kinds of things. I usually don't even give my opinion on that. I do think it was cool, whatever they did there. I think it was pretty cool. Hey, Grace. It hit. I mean, they showed it to you hitting, and whether you believe that, that's up to you too. But I believe it. And that's me, right? You don't have to. I don't force anybody. This is not an echo chamber, and you're allowed to have whatever opinion you have. You're allowed to say it, as long as it's respectful, and you don't start bashing other channels. Start bashing other channels. That's a real good way to kind of get muted real quick. We don't do that here. So just so you know, I'm not saying that for you. I'm just saying that for everybody. But I accept everybody's, their right to have their opinion and voice it. I don't take that from people, and I don't make them feel stupid if I don't agree. Okay? I just never will. I don't think it's productive, and I don't think it's right, to be honest with you. So, but anyway, when you go from up here and you go back down to a negative position from that far, that's a huge swing. Okay? So in that part of it, it is whatever it is. It's KP5 right now. Actually, no, it's not. It's actually higher. It would be a KP of 6. We're currently at a G2, so that's a KP of 6. So that's yeah. So what can we? I didn't show you guys that either. Maybe I'll show you that real quick. Let's go back here to here. So G2 storms. What can we expect? High latitude power systems might get some. High latitude means closer to the poles. Okay, might get some voltage alarms. Long duration storms may cause some transformer damage. High latitudes. Corrective actions might be needed by the for ground control to keep the satellites up there. High frequency radio propagation can fade at higher latitudes. Okay, that would be first responders using ham radios, all these things that we talk about with communication equipment. Okay, at some level, it could actually affect GPS also if stuff starts getting kind of crazy, I love you, Rip, man. I really do. I love all you guys. I truly, honestly do. Thank you for putting up with my squirreling sometimes. And guys, I am working on it. I promise you. And I get if you don't want to watch some of my stuff because I do squirrel. I get it. I accept the criticism. I'm just trying to get better. Okay, just know that. I do like the relationships I've built with a lot of people, though. So, and that wouldn't have been possible if I'd just come on here and gave you data and walked away. You know what I mean? So, that's what you get a lot of other places, and I'm just not built that way. So, G5 would be grid down scenario, possibly. Okay? We've been at a G5 before, guys. I know it's doesn't seem like we could have gotten there because a lot of us haven't even looked at this stuff for what, 2-3 years. Hey, what's up, Johnny? Good to see you, bud. And it's, yeah, It is. Oh, yeah, guys, if you haven't seen Johnny, you guys got to get over to Chase the Heat. Check out his channel. That's another positive outlet for everybody. Great stuff. Eating hot, super hot peppers. You know, maybe that's what happened to our space weather here. Maybe the sun ate a bunch of super hots and got mad. I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, so this is a completely unexpected storm. But a G5, to answer your question. Oh, yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, I got you, man. We got it. That is my channel, though, right? I like to help other people. That's part of my channel, bro. I love you. Love all you guys. So, anyway. Yeah, so to answer your question on the G5, it's definitely something that could cause us issues. We had a G5 hit up in Canada. I think it was 89. Was it 89 or 91? I can't remember the exact year. But that was I think it was the Quebec power outage up there. The grid went down up there. And it was, yeah, that could be a serious issue. If that would have lasted longer, you know, what if you know, your family members had medical equipment in their house that they relied on? You know what I mean? And so, you know, when people ask me how important is this stuff to kind of keep up on, well, it's important enough, especially if you have issues like that. You know, and people ask me, another question I get a lot is, how much do you prepare? What do you do to prep? First off, I would send you straight over to Rip's channel, okay? Another good prepping channel is Alaskan Prepper. Guys, I'll tell you what, I've learned a lot from him too. Rip actually turned me on to him. I hadn't watched any of his content, but Alaska Prepper, go check him out. I mean, he really does a good job up there. But I'm not the prepper guy, right? I mean, I prep, don't get me wrong, because I do. And we all prep at our own level, right? So you prep to where you're comfortable, and then you go one notch further. That's how I do things, right? So if you do that, then you're, you know, at least you can live your life in a way that you're not always fearful something's going to happen and you're going to be completely unprepared for it. You know what I mean? So that's what I would say. I think everybody's level of prepping is probably going to depend on where you live, who you are, how many family members you have. I mean, there's so many things that it's hard to put a blanket, you need to do this. You know what I mean? It's a very open-ended thing for people. So kind of keep that in mind. That's why I don't tell people a whole lot of that stuff, because, you know, we got food and stuff in our basement and we rotate it through like we're supposed to. I got water, I got life straws, I've got, what a life straw is, guys, you can actually take, if you don't know what a life straw is, and some of you might not, you can get them at the store, or you can order them, get the good ones. I would suggest getting the good ones. You can take it looks like a tube, and you can stick it in mud water if you want to, and you suck it. If you can suck it through there, you can get potable water out of it. It filters out the stuff. Okay, it's basically a portable filter that you just stick wherever you want to stick whatever water you want to stick it in. Okay, you can also get tablets to clean water. There's a whole lot of things you can do with that stuff, right? But everybody's prepping is going to be different. That's why you need to watch everybody and take everybody's advice and then do what you think you need to do for your family. And if people ever tell you that you're crazy for prepping, those are going to be the first people when something happens that's going to knock on your door needing your help. You know? And then what are you going to do? Then you're going to be forced with a choice of either taking care of your family or helping out somebody you don't even know. And unfortunately for me, fortunately or unfortunately, I'm taking care of my family first, guys. I have to. That's my job, right? And yeah, exactly, Tanya. I mean, that's actually a great point. The most important prep is the soul. So however you prep for your soul, whatever your thing is, you need to do that 100%. So, yeah, Stephanie, for sure. So, I heard toilet paper can do that too, but oh no, I wouldn't. Oh no, I wouldn't stick. Yeah, I wouldn't try to suck water through toilet paper and think it's okay to drink. These filters they have in these life straws are specifically made for that stuff. All right, and I'm not sure if it even is able to filter out like certain things either. You know, there's reasons why you'll want to boil some waters you won't need to. You got purification tablets you can get. Again, I'm not a prepping channel, so I don't really want to go too much into advice on that. That's just something I have here at my house. But I would suggest everybody has some preps. But I actually even suggest people have a to-go bag or a SHTF bag, if you want to call it that. That, you know, have a bag for each member of the family. Because God forbid something bad happens. You know, I heard a stat the other day, and it kind of hit me right in the face. I can't remember where I think I even heard, was it on mainstream? No, it was on Alaska Preppers channel. Okay, yeah, exactly. He was giving you from statisticians. Statistically, we are now due for a major world conflict. I think it's like between 80 and 100 years we get one of the, you know, a major world. I'm not going to say the whole other word there, but we're, you know, the 40s was when the other one ended, right? What does that mean? We're due for another one. I mean, and again, you know, those are all just based off of historic data, but they're really, really close, and it really is. We're at that time. So whether you think anything's going on in this world, I don't know. It's up for you, and I'm not going to sit here and even talk about it any longer. But just understand, when you're talking about prepping, that's where my mind goes. And I'm going to make sure that my family's taken care of. So I guess what it boils down to, guys, if you could put your head on the pillow at night and still sleep and be okay, then maybe that's where you should be. You know? If you're okay, wherever you're at, you got to be able to be comfortable where you're at. That's what I'm trying to say. And that level is going to be different for everybody. Anyway, that's what we're doing this at the end of the stream. But I do accept your guys' criticism from my last video. I really do. And it was legit criticism. So thank you. I appreciate that kind of feedback. And I will, and again, I tried to stay right on point here at the beginning of it. At the beginning of this stream. But because of the way this stream went and what was going on live, the stuff happening unexpectedly, we're watching the storm level go up. That doesn't always happen. So this one is kind of a little spread out. But yeah. Yes, Darth Vader is awesome, by the way. I'm a Star Wars freak, if you guys didn't know. I imagine a lot of you guys already knew that. But so let me do this real quick too. We're at the end of the stream. I'm going to go over here to my channel. And I'm going to, guys, you guys know you got to go check out Marf, right? I mean, you guys know this, right? Marfugel. You got to check out Rip. You got to check out everybody. Alaska Prepper, he's here on my list. I'm going to go down here. We just did one of the best live streams we've ever done over here on the lifeboat. And a lot of it has to do with that man that was just talking in my chat. Okay? And I'm not trying to give credit this way or the other. I'm just saying it is 100% what happened. So please, please. Hey, Johnny, I can't get there. Tommy, I can't get to the current video. Can you, what was it? What was the name? What did I name it? I forget what I named it. Here, hold on. Maybe it's in my, there it is. Never mind. I got it. But this is one of the, it was really powerful what happened. Okay, I'm not even going to spoil it for you. So just know that it was powerful. And so let me, I'm going to hit the share here. We're going to share that. I'm going to copy it. And we're going to put it here in the lifeboat. We're here in the live chat. Hey, Ron, what's up, bud? Thanks, Ron. Appreciate you, bud. Guys, get over and check out Emergency Management Associates. Anything earthquakes, go over there. Hey, Nacho. Good to see you, bud. So, yeah, please come check out the lifeboat, guys. I mean, listen, positivity, positivity, positivity. We always say that, right? But we live it. And it was shown tonight. Okay, we have, you know, Tommy's brother is Johnny. He was just in here, Chase the Heat. I found Tommy from watching Johnny's channel. That's how me and Tommy met. So really good things happen when you stay on a positive train. And that's what's going on. Eventually, it'll come back. It'll come back positive to you. Just like all the bad stuff comes back and smacks you in the head, guess what? So's the good stuff. Remember that. Don't forget that. We never ever even talk about that. And that's unfortunate. We have to be able to understand that good and bad both come back to us. And that's what I would say. Now, come check this out, please. You guys will be doing yourself a great service. And if you want anything to know about any kind of, recovery, we talk about living our best life over here. Obviously, fentanyl, Narcan. I hashtag those because it gets at the people that are doing those kinds of things. Just recovery in general. And there's no judgment. That's one of the biggest things. We don't judge people. If people are high and drunk, we want them in our chat. We want to know that they're okay. And we want them to know that there's a place that they can come, that they can get some help or at least some advice and not be judged. And so yeah. So not only is that, please come over and check this out. Please. It's me and Tommy's second channel. This is, both these things were my passion. And, I'm directly helping people, I believe, on both channels, but this one here, I can see really see it. And it's so rewarding for me, and it helps me stay sober. So just understand that. Something else we can do here real quick. And I know that this is about my stream, Johnny, but don't give me a whole bunch of stuff here. I want to, I pay stuff back. I'm not really paying it back, but I'm paying it forward. You know what I mean? Look at this guy. That's Johnny. Okay. If you look at that guy and you don't smile, come on, give me a break. This is the stuff I love. The man jumped out of an airplane eating 10 Reapers while on the way down. Who does that? It's awesome. It's so freaking awesome. So, what I'm going to do, he actually had a show in Myrtle Beach here. I watched that. It was a good video, by the way. They were eating these things that they call crack balls, and they're very, very spicy cheese balls, right? They're made with Reapers, I believe, is the one they ate. And I think they were doctored up a little bit just for that competition. But I could be wrong on that, but I think that's what was said. But anyway, so what I'm going to do here, guys, I'm going to leave you the link to this one. Okay? Actually, I'm just going to go into the video here. And there he is. The man eats the peppers. And I'm going to hit the share button here. We're going to copy that. And we're going to put that in the chat here. So, yeah. There you go. Go check him out. It's all positivity. Positivity leads to other positivity. Okay? Renee, if you 2 doses of Narcan spelling, I was shocked. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I might have spelled it wrong. I do. I spell it wrong sometimes. I suck at spelling. If you don't think I suck at spelling, just go read some of the comments. Man, I get hammered on it all the time. Hey, man, you earned it, bud. You earned it, Johnny. I'm telling you, man. Man, not just in the pepper community, just positivity in general. The way you put it out there, it's just, why do you think I stuck around for so long? Seriously. I'm not even kidding. I don't watch channels that are negative. Now, if it's like a space weather channel, there are some people on here that I would consider negative people, but I think you can find good information when you're talking about just data, right? I'm not talking about eating peppers or trying to help somebody with a drug problem or alcoholism. I'm talking about space weather data. And it's unfortunate that, something that's, mundane, I guess, or something that's just straightforward as space weather, it has to be negative. It's always puzzled me. It's crazy. I don't get it. But anyway, there you have it. And I'm going to go ahead and end this stream, guys. I haven't eaten. My sugar's dropping. I got to get something to eat. So I do appreciate you guys. if anything else happens here, guys, I definitely will be back on here to let you know. If we get any higher, go check out Mark. I think Mark is probably live right now, isn't he? Am I wrong? Yeah, you see, look, see, this is the retention rate. You see what happens? That's why I waited. Gave all the space for their information, and right when I started doing the shout outs, boom, 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 boom. And that's okay. I get it. Right? I get it. I really do. So, just so you know. But that's the way my streams are going to look from now on. I'm going to give you the space filler at the beginning. So, back at you, Christine. Appreciate you. But that's what's going on now. I think Martha is live right now. Matter of fact, I'm going to check before I get off here. Because if he's not, I'm going to leave the link for you guys. Yeah, we'll do it. Nope, he's not live right now. He might be getting ready to go, though. Let's check. It's about time for him to go live. So, yep, he is live. There he is. That's my boy Adam right there. Dex is doing the phones and stuff in the background. Come check him out, guys. If you're not over here, you need to be. The best alternative news on the internet, in my opinion. Just so you know. And yes, go check out Ron too. Ron, you can drop your link. Axe, he's a Canadian, one of my favorite Canadians. Love y'all. Wish I could shout everybody out all the time, but man, I tell you, I just love you guys so much. But anyway, God bless. Yahusha saves, and yeah. Don't forget about the hurricanes either. He's talking about that now. You could drink this Kool-Aid.